New at 9, a hearing for the Carr brothers is scheduled to take place tomorrow. Jonathan and Reginald Carr are seeking to be resentenced for several murders in a week-long crime spree back in 2000. The brothers were found guilty of abusing and terrorizing 5 people, killing Aaron Sanders, Brad Haka, Heather Muller, and Jason Beffert. Another woman did survive. They also killed Ann Walenta in a separate shooting. 12 News' Cale Chapman spoke to a defense attorney about this case. Joins us now in the studio. Cale, what can you tell us?
Dylan, this case has a long history of appeals and has been heard in front of the state and U.S. Supreme Court. Along the way, some of the charges the brothers faced have been vacated, voided, or reversed. Initially, the brothers were tried and convicted of capital murder together, which is what their attorneys are now trying to change. Attorneys representing each brother have filed for resentencing, but this time they want it done separately. I spoke with defense attorney Dan Monnett, who is not involved with the case, about why cases like these take so long and if resentencing is needed.
Is all that necessary in a death penalty case? Absolutely. Whenever government anywhere seeks to render the ultimate penalty, the ultimate degree of care and fairness must be assured.
Monday's hearing is considered a status conference to determine the next steps for attorneys to argue the motion for a new resentencing hearing. The state has filed responsive pleadings in each case opposing the request.